grind is out to see the song. We'll be making these tunes until the weed is gone. We sonic boom, keep the metaphor going. From the farm to the lab, but you already know it. Another season from the seed to the bong. It's a never-ending cycle, so we never stop growing. Check the style, y'all, I've never been a clone. Cali dad, I got a style on my own. I live in the forest, no shortage on trees. Got a jar in every drawer full of foliage. OG, cooling with my homies on a Saturday. Up in the studio, no matter what the forecast. Gotta let the angels out, don't listen to iconoclast. Put on the boombox, turn up the speakers blast. Flip the backyard, blunt fresh leaf.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video. On today, this is Raw Detroit, and we're going to talk about Brian Robinson. But before we dig deep into Brian Robinson being a replacement for running back David Montgomery, I know what I just said is blasphemy with the Detroit Lions fans. And a lot of people are going to say, man, what are you talking about replacing David Montgomery? Look, the NFL is a business, and I understand that it's a business. And every season, you may have to make a decision that you don't want to make. Brian Robinson is a little bit tad younger than David Montgomery. He stands at 6'1", 225 pounds, and he actually could be a good replacement for David Montgomery. He is a bruising type running back. He has that bruiser mentality. The dude is a flat-out dog, and he was a starting running back for the Washington Commanders before he ended up going to the San Francisco 49ers and being a backup to Christian McCaffrey. But the Lions are going to have to make some choices and decisions that they probably don't want to make. And I know a lot of fans are saying, what are you saying, us losing David Montgomery? It can happen, man. You know, I don't get stuck on a player because I understand that, you know, things change every season and every year. And sometimes you got to upgrade, and sometimes you got to do things by the salary cap to get to lose people and stuff like that you don't want to lose. But if we happen to part ways with David Montgomery, if we go out and get draft capital for David Montgomery, or we just happen to just say, hey, we want to go younger and we want to go with someone that we feel that would be a great compliment to Jahmyr Gibbs, because you have to understand as a fan that Jahmyr Gibbs was drafted to be the #1 running back, and he is going to get paid like a #1 running back. And definitely Jahmyr Gibbs has earned the paycheck. He definitely has earned it. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs is not the same type of running back that Brian Robinson Jr. is. He's not the same type of running back that David Montgomery is. I think that David Montgomery and Brian Robinson are the same type of running back. But Robinson is just a little bit younger. He's only 26 years of age. He's standing at 6'1", 225, so he's a big running back. And then, you know, David Montgomery is, what, 5'10", 230. So both of these guys got the same type of bruising mentality. And I just think that both of these guys, whether we have David Montgomery as Knuckles still running with Sonic, I'm fine with that. I don't want to lose David Montgomery, but I understand that the NFL is a business and that you could possibly lose David Montgomery. And if I had to lose him, what other running back out there would I be willing to get? Well, you definitely know I will be willing to get Kenneth Walker, but we're not going to be able to afford Kenneth Walker. He's going to get a nice payday as well. So I definitely think that Brian Robinson Jr. is one of those running backs in the league that can play well with Jahmyr Gibbs if we happen to depart from David Montgomery. Now, I know what I just said. A lot of people are not going to, they're not going to really see it that way because we get stuck on players. But you have to understand you cannot get stuck on these NFL players because it is a business. And sometimes in a business gets in the way of the personal sometimes, because we got a rapport with David Montgomery. We know how good he is. We know that David Montgomery can flat out be a #1 running back in his league, and he deserves to be that. I'm not going to say that David Montgomery doesn't deserve to be a #1 running back in the National Football League, because he's that good. He is a very good running back. But if I had to pick another running back that would complement Jahmyr Gibbs, I'm going to say Brian Robinson Jr. He would complement Jahmyr Gibbs well. He would give us that big running back that we're looking for, that bruising type of running back, the guy that's going to get the hard yards, and the guy that's going to, you know what I'm saying, the guy that's just going to fight, just fight within the football game. Brian Robinson definitely compliments Jahmyr Gibbs, because Jahmyr Gibbs, let's face it, he's a home run threat. And we know that Jahmyr can take it from, you know what I'm saying, from 0 to 60. he can get down the field like crazy, and he can hit the home run. He can take a 80 or 90-yard touchdown to the house if the hole is big. He can do that. So we have to figure out what player would the Lions be interested in bringing to be a part of this team. And you have to put Brian Robinson Jr. Because for one, he's not going to get a huge payday. And maybe the Lions give him like, maybe a 2-year deal, $6 million, something like that. I don't know, $6-7 million. Not a lot of money, but you got to figure out what they're going to do, what the Lions really want to do. And to me, I looked at the running backs, and I know that it's a lot of them out there, but I had to really look at a guy that's going to complement the run style of Jahmyr Gibbs, and it's Brian Robinson Jr. This dude even runs returns. So it's crazy, and that's something that David Montgomery doesn't do. Not saying that David Montgomery can't do that, but he can. The Lions just don't use him that way. But Brian Robinson Jr. runs returns back. And I don't know if I really want my number 2 running back running returns back. I would rather have somebody else do it. But this dude is capable of doing it, and he's showing it. So if you look at another running back, who will complement Jahmyr Gibbs? This is what we have to really look at, fans. This is what you have to look at. Who is going to complement Jahmyr Gibbs? Because Jahmyr is about to get the big payday. He's projected to get, a 4-year deal worth around $88 million. So you're talking about like 21, 22 million annually that Jahmyr Gibbs can end up getting. And I think him and Bijan Robinson are going to be the 2 highest paid young running backs. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be up there with Saquon Barkley. They're going to be, because both of these guys, Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs, are the best 2 young running backs in the National Football League. But if I had to go out there and make a decision, if I'm the GM and if I'm Brad Holmes, I'm going to be interested in bringing Brian Robinson Jr. to this team because he is going to complement Jahmyr Gibbs in a way that someone else probably would not be able to do it. Now, I know what I'm saying to a lot of fans, that it might fly over your head, but don't let it fly over your head because it might be a decision based upon business with the David Montgomery situation, and we could lose him. But then we can also keep him as well. So I'm not saying that the Lions are going to get rid of David Montgomery. But if I had to go out and get a running back, what running back would complement Jahmyr Gibbs? And I definitely think that Brian Robinson Jr. Would be a great compliment. Right now, in his young career, he's only been in the NFL for 4 seasons. So he'll be going into his 5th season. And I think that David Montgomery is going into his 8th season. So currently, so far, he'll be playing in his 5th season. Robinson, he has currently 2,729 yards rushing with 17 touchdowns. He has 73 receptions for 612 yards with 5 TDs. He has played in 58 games, and he is going into his 5th year as a pro. So if I'm looking at any running back, I'm looking at somebody that is going to complement Jahmyr Gibbs' running style, because I know that Jahmyr Gibbs has been drafted to be the number 1 running back. If you take a running back in the 1st round, that guy is to be the number 1 running back. And we know that that he's going to get more of the carries. But I definitely think that Robinson Jr. would be able to complement what Jahmyr Gibbs is doing if we have to part ways with David Montgomery. Now, I don't know if Brad Holmes is really going to part ways with Montgomery. We can definitely hold on to him. And I don't really want to lose Montgomery because I know how well he plays with Jahmyr Gibbs. But it's not going to be a Jahmyr Gibbs decision. It's going to be based upon what Brad Holmes, the direction that Brad Holmes wants to take the team in. That's what this thing is all going to be about in the offseason. Which direction is Brad Holmes taking his team? And it better be to be able to get better and to be able to try to make it to the Super Bowl. So all decisions that you have to make, sometimes the fans are not going to like it. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that being a GM, the fans is not going to like every move, every single thing that you do as a GM. But sometimes it's a business decision. And this could very well end up being a business decision that Brad Holmes is going to have to make for the Detroit Lions to part ways with David Montgomery. But if he doesn't part ways with David Montgomery, then you best believe that Brian Robinson Jr. is on my big board in the free agency, and he is a guy that I feel that will complement Jahmyr Gibbs and give us that bruising type running back in Detroit. All right, guys, this is Raw Detroit, and I'm out of here. Peace.